Hey everyone, and welcome back to the reboot. It's not a boring shot of the garage you're looking at a very exciting shot of my garage door. Let me tell you what I need to do concerning the garage door. I already started. Unfortunately, I did not get it on videotape, but I'm starting to trim out the garage door entry so that there are no gaps along the side there. So at the lower end, you've got pressure treated wood on each side, 3 feet up. And then I've just got regular spruce. I did not mill these ones, and I'm going to finish this off with a 2x4 that'll match up pretty much with that reveal there. And you can see that it'll continue all the way around to trim out the door. And then I've got this sealer that I'm going to put in. It's a white one, as you can see, and get that installed. Now what I've been advised to do is to let this wood dry, season for a year in place. And I've been told to do that, even though they claim that it's coming out of kilns right now, that because of the pandemic, there's actually been a run on lumber in Eastern Canada. Like, it is very hard to get lumber at the lumber yards and in the big box stores right now. It's a little bit more expensive. Got a helicopter hovering overhead up there, not really sure what they're up to. Interesting. Rarely do you see something like that. Anyways, back to the trim out of the garage door here. So the idea is to let this wood season for a year. It'll gray, but then my plan is to paint it white. And I'm told that because there's such a demand at the lumber yards right now, that the wood is coming out of the kilns and out of the lumber producers so quickly that a lot of this wood is actually not perfectly kiln dried. It's still kind of wet. So let it season for a year. I'll paint it in a year. It'll match up better in terms of what's going on with the doorway here. I could also trim it out with some white aluminum. I don't know that I'll go that far, but at least we'll get it painted up with some white. So today I'm just going to be installing the trim on the outside, and I'm going to be seeing if I can get out the weather stripping at the bottom of the door. The current one down there is all beat up. I'm going to see if I can slide out the current weather stripping in there and install a new one. All right, everybody, let's get busy and see how far we can get. Okay, so I'm going to be putting the weather stripping on with a combination of these, what essentially I think are kind of a deck screw, and these other screws that are already painted white. They've got a white tip on them. And the logic being that either I'm going to go get more of these and replace these brown ones with the white ones, or I'm just going to, when I paint the wood, I'm just going to paint over the brown ones, and so that won't be an issue. So let's get started with this. And these strips come pre-drilled. Well, maybe not pre-drilled exactly, but they come with little indents to indicate where they prefer to have the screws put in. In fact, they are pre-drilled. I'm looking at this here. That went in beautifully. Now it's important to keep in mind, guys, again, if you haven't seen the videos where I installed the garage with my friend Michael, this is a repurposed garage door. It's a repurposed 12 foot wide, 10 foot high door. And so there is some discoloration in some areas and some dings. But again, I'm a firm believer in repurposing items. And again, it's a pretty good building. It doesn't need to be a building for Bill Gates or for the owner of Tesla, whose name I'm forgetting right now. It's an insulated door. It's weather tight, especially with this stripping now in place. It's great. Let's keep going. come up about a foot short. I've bought some extra length that I'll measure and tack in place here. Let's go inside, take a look and see how this side looks compared to the side that's not done yet. So I'm standing on the side that is not yet done. You can see there's quite a bit of daylight coming in on the side of that door there, on the side of the door there. Over here, where I just put the seal in place, I didn't get that top 1 foot. So you can see a little daylight up there, but otherwise that is tight. Okay, that works well, guys. I'm going to try to open the door now and see how it works. Perfect. That works really well. The second the door goes up, it moves away from the weather stripping, and when it comes down, it snugs into position against it. That works well. We've got a nice weather seal there. Just decided I'm going to remove these white painted screws and just complete it with the installation with these 1.5 inches. They're more than adequate for this job, and they'll just get painted over. Okay, this camera's running a little bit low on battery, guys, but the step now is to see if I can get this weather strip on the bottom off. And let's see if we can pull this out of here. Clean out. Let's bring you inside. I think you might be able to see it better from in here. I did not expect that to come out that easily. So here's the product I bought at the Home Depot back in the city before I came out here this morning, and you'll notice something here. If you're not from Canada, you'll notice something that is common in our daily life here, which is, I've got the replacement part for the 18-foot long weather seal. My door is only 12 feet across, so I'll obviously be cutting off 10 feet, but there you go, down below there. Porte de garage, OEM, pièce de remplacement. Coupe froide inférieure de 18 pieds pour porte en acier. Donc, the point there is that we get it in English and French in Canada, and because it's North America, not because of any regulation related to Canada, you see that you also get the Spanish. So there you go. There's the piece. And there are the instructions to get it back in place. Here we go. All right, let's see if I can get this in place. We make the U. Let's see what we can do. Okay. Change of plan, people, because it's just filthy. The inside of this track is just, I don't know if you guys can see it here. See all the dirt in there? So we're gonna put that back up, slide the door down, get all of those pins and screws out. So there's the bracket that goes on the bottom. I don't know if you can see it there, how filthy it is, so I'm just going to clean that out a bit. That's not going to be perfect, but that's an improvement. Let's see if we can get this in place. Yeah, that's much easier than trying to do it. Well, that looks good, everybody. So that's the new gasket. You can see there that the bracket's a little beat up, but it'll work. It's broken right there. But there you go. That's all in place. Let's get that back up on the door. I know it's difficult to see in this light. Actually, we've got a little cloud cover, so it might not be so bad for a few minutes. Check that out. All the way up. Now, I haven't done the top of the door. There's already a seal inside at the top of the door. But you come across, there's the seal down the side. And as we look at ground level here, look at that. Look at that seal on the ground. That is perfect. All the way across. That was the old one. Look how ratty that is. It's ripped. It's broken in a couple places. Almost looks like a dead rat or dead snake. See the rip there? No daylight. Down the side there. And look at the bottom of the door. Beautiful. Nothing's getting in there, guys. No bugs. On the corners, mice could have gotten in before. Look at that. No daylight. I'm thrilled.